Ekko is broken. Ekko might be one of the coolest characters in 2xKO, but he's also proven pretty quickly to be the absolute strongest pick at all levels of play. Now, Riot's announced that they're nerfing him, but what makes him so good? And what can Riot do to make sure that this nerf actually works? Okay, so I think at this point, everybody agrees that Ekko is the best character in 2xKO, and is probably too good. He is the most played character in Challenger, but what's even crazier is that he's the most used assist character, being played literally 60 more times than the next most used character. Every week, FlyQuest Fight Series and Tampa Never Sleep's top 8 graphics are covered with pictures of Ekko. And last week, FlyQuest offered $50 to the player who could place highest without picking Ekko. They literally tried to pay people not to pick him. And Ekko has been an agreed upon top tier in every version of 2xKO since basically day one. I think you can justifiably call Ekko a problem at this point. Amusingly, Ekko only showed up on 3 of the top 8 teams at DreamHack Atlanta this past weekend, but many of the best players have made their choices. You're playing Ekko or you're playing Teemo. And while I haven't seen too many top players pick both, there are people out there, like Inzem, who are showing that 2xKO's 2 most hated characters can go perfectly together.
Went for the rewind. So we saw the startup of the normal and just went for the break bait afterwards. Just didn't work out. Inzem did not bite. What is going on?
Trying to go for a break bait of our own, maybe, with a fadeaway sidewinder, but...
Yeah, he's extending. Brother, he's freestyling. What the hell is this combo? Sheesh!
But before we get into what this means for the game and what Riot's gonna do about it, let's talk about what Ekko does. Ekko is ostensibly a rushdown character with strong corner pressure and mix-ups. This means he wants to get up in an opponent's face, land a knockdown, and then loop his Okizeme over and over again until you die. But that's not always how Ekko plays out. Like I said earlier, Ekko tends to live as your assist character, not on point. This is because Chrono Strike might be the absolute best assist in the game. Chrono Strike is a dashing strike that covers about a quarter of the screen. If you're using the 2x assist fuse, it covers half the screen. And on hit, you can tag to Ekko and continue the combo, because handshake tag cancels Chrono Strike's recovery. Basically, this turns Ekko into a half-screen projectile assist, one that you can hit confirm off of from anywhere on screen. And it can be thrown out in neutral while your main character backdashes or jumps in for a cross-up. This, by the way, is why Ekko and Teemo don't go together super well. As we talked about last week, Teemo is really good in double down right now. And with Ekko and Teemo as a team, you either have to choose between super tag abuse or having half-screen Chrono Strike assists. Right now, Ekko players are opting for Chrono Strike, and for pretty good reason.
Oh, we keeping Ekko in. This is very dangerous because Ekko's going to die.
Listen, you don't play him. That character is so fun. You want to play him, but you got to know when to get him out there and let him heal some of that up, you know?
I don't want to play him. I want him to go back, tell him to go back to Zon and stay out of Demacia. Oh, that's what I want him to do.
But Ekko isn't just useful when he's in the back, he has other strengths too. The biggest one is the Kebab OS, an evolved version of a mix-up option select called the Burrito OS. Using Kebab, Ekko can set up a left-right, high-low, strike-throw mix-up that beats get-up attack and forward roll. This is a pretty tight series of inputs, but it effectively gives Ekko the strongest Oki in the game. And Ekko also happens to have some of the best movement in 2xKO. He's fast on the ground, he has a unique air hop that comes up more often than you'd think, and he can reposition himself around the screen very quickly thanks to his after images, which means he's one of the best characters in the game at converting off of stray hits from either him or his assist. And in neutral, Ekko has Time Winder, which can be used as a zoning tool, an Oki tool, and a pseudo assist. Ekko can call assist, throw a Time Winder, and then handshake tag, giving his partner character all the benefits of Time Winder, much like the Teemo slingshot trick we showed last week. And while Chrono Strike isn't quite as absurd when on point, it is a safe on-block ender for Ekko's normal strings that can be charged and rewound early to bait out parries or mashing. Entangled Timeline, Ekko Super 2, isn't just good for Kebab mix-ups. While it's active, Ekko gets to solo combo off his throws and gives him access to the grossest pressure sequences in the game. So Ekko controls neutral, can capitalize off of almost any hit, has the best pressure, mix-ups, and assists in the game, and he has respectable damage. What's his weakness? This is where I, and the entire 2xKO community, run into a problem, because I don't think Ekko has any weaknesses. Last week, I talked about how toxic and powerful Teemo is. And make no mistake, I still think he is the second best character in the game, but Teemo does have clear weaknesses. Yes, he's hard to hit, but once you find him, he explodes. And he has pretty bad matchups into Jinx and Vi. Sonic Fox actually counterpicked Jinx into Leffen's Teemo this past weekend at DreamHack Atlanta. Ekko does not have that kind of weakness. He doesn't lose to any specific characters, his combos don't really drop on anyone, his incredible assists mean he can play nice on a team with any other character. The only negative thing you can say about Ekko is that he has slightly lower health than most of the cast. And he still has more than Teemo and Ahri anyway, so who cares? So what does it mean for 2xKO that we have such a clear top tier? And what do we do about him?
Ekko is really well-rounded, good at everything, really strong, good mix-ups, good neutral. The nerfs to him, I think were pretty good, but he's probably still doing too much. I think in particular, the double super routes just do like way too much damage. He should be able to enable other characters and like have good neutral and mix-ups, but I think he probably just deletes you too much for his mix-up archetype, you know what I mean?
A few days ago, Riot announced that the next big 2xKO patch is dropping on November 18th, and will have a few balance adjustments to Ekko, Teemo, and Yasuo, along with core system adjustments, presumably to super tag. So the whole to nerf or not to nerf debate is settled. Riot is nerfing Ekko, but by how much? We don't know yet. I really do hope that Riot can find a way to bring Ekko in line without fundamentally changing what makes him cool as a character, and without changing the game too much this early. That said, I also don't know if a small nerf is actually going to be enough. Are there things that Riot could do to Ekko that wouldn't totally change the game? Probably. You could lower his damage, you could neuter the Kebab OS, or you could make Chrono Strike not so insane. But I don't know if any of that solves the problem that Ekko doesn't have any weaknesses. Like, you would have to nerf his damage really significantly for it to matter, because even if he killed you in 3 or 4 hits instead of 2, he would still be really strong. Ekko just has every tool you could want in this game, and it's really hard to nerf a character like that. I do think it's actually good that Riot is making changes to Ekko, by the way. The community wanted to see something shift, and this is Riot listening. That's good. Now, Riot says they don't want to overreact, that they want a meta to develop as players find counters to winning strategies, but also that they want to step in when the game feels stale or unfair. But what they don't say is how often they plan on making these balance changes. Personally, I'm kind of hoping for a less is more approach here. I really just don't want to see constant patches that totally change the game. Like, Street Fighter 6's yearly patches are too infrequent and definitely don't change the game enough. But at the same time, I don't want to have to relearn my characters every few weeks. We're about to see what kind of game 2xKO is going to be. Is Riot going to be making constant, massive changes? Or are they going to tweak a bit here and there and only do big patches a few times a year? I'm not sure yet. But at the very least, Riot seems to agree that the Ekko meta is getting stale, and his time might finally be over. What does the game need? I want more freaks. Just give me some weird monsters. Every character in this game until now, until Blitz and Warwick and Teemo, every other character is just some variation of a hot person. Let me play Mundo, let me play Zac, let me play some really weird guys. Put Urgot in here, Singed, right? Give me something.